Hey, happy Monday, happy March 1st, happy everything. You know who I am. I am Christopher Small, but I'm on my own personal page right now, and I'm talking some estate planning stuff. Separate property and trust planning is the topic of the day. Before I get to that, as always, if you have questions or need help with estate planning and you want to talk with us, you can do that by going to cmslawfirm.com. That's it. No /, just cmslawfirm.com. Okay. Separate property and trust planning is what I'm talking about today. This is your estate planning tip of the day. This comes from a conversation that I had with some clients this morning. I'm trying to think about when it was exactly. It was this morning. And the issue is this, okay? When I'm talking about separate property, what I'm talking about is property that you bring into your marriage, typically. Let's say, you were, I'll give you a perfect example. My dad passed away. He left me a house. He left me and my sister a house. I bought the house from her, so I had a house. If I had to receive this house before I was married, and then I brought this house into the marriage, that would be my separate property. Okay, like it was inherited. I brought it into the relationship. It is my separate property, which means when you're talking about estate planning, the property that is separate typically remains separate as long as it is kept separate, okay? That's lots of separates. And the property that you sort of retain and earn and keep and come into after you're married is community property, at least in Washington State. If you're not in Washington State, talk to somebody in your state to make sure that these are the same rules as in Washington State. And the way that it works in Washington State is when you have separate property, you can give your separate property to anyone that you want, the whole thing. Your spouse doesn't have the ability to give away your separate property. It's just all yours. Whereas community property is typically owned 50-50. In Washington State, you can give away your half to anyone that you want, and your spouse can give away their half to anyone that they want. That's how that works. When you have a trust, though, what often happens is, using this house example, you create a trust, a joint trust, with your spouse, and then you move that separate property into the trust. And this can potentially cause problems, or it causes some worry, often because people wonder if they put separate property into a joint trust, does that sort of like commingle the property and turn it into community property? Because if you do commingle separate property, it often will turn into community property. For example, if you have a joint bank account and a separate bank account, and you put the money in the separate bank account into the joint bank account, in many ways, it can become joint money. And often people want to retain the character of their property for many different kinds of reasons. But thankfully, most trusts, at least the way that we create our trusts, take care of this problem very simply, very easily, and very specifically. Basically, when we create a revocable living trust for someone, and we know that they're a separate property, we always ensure that this is there. Pretty much include this clause every time anyway. Basically, what the trust says is any property put into the trust retains its character as whatever it is as it went in. So if it's community property when it goes into the trust, it remains community property. If it is separate property when it goes into the trust, it remains separate property. Therefore, if it is taken out of the trust for whatever reason, then it retains its character as whatever it was when it went in. Funny thing is, as I was saying this, two different people actually asked me about this today. Somebody asked me, what if we put some stuff in the trust, and then we get separated later on? It was a question, and I was like, well, yeah, the property that's in there, you just back it out basically and split it up. And if it was separate property, when it comes out, then it remains separate property. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If you are sort of holding back on doing some estate planning or some trust planning because you're not sure how all of these things will work together, hopefully that sheds some light on things and you can get it done. Because it's important, you should do it. Don't wait. If you don't hire me, go hire somebody else, get some help, and take care of it. Okay, so that is it. Hopefully this helped you out. As always, if you need help with estate planning or probate, and you are in Washington State in particular, you can talk to me, talk to us by going to cmslawfirm.com. See some fancy buttons there. You can see my calendar, and you can even get on it for free. Okay, CMSLawFirm.com. All right, that is it. Thanks everybody. Have a great day. If you listened this far, as always, I appreciate you. If you got off early, I don't like you. You know, you'll never know though. But I'm kidding. But anyway, have a great day. Have a great everything. I appreciate you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for listening. Hopefully this helped. And have a great day.